It is believed that one day stem cells may be used to treat and possibly cure Parkinson's, spinal cord injuries, strokes, arthritis, birth defects, diabetes, and even heart disease, and sometimes even cancers, according to ABC News. Dr. Darwin Prokop, the director of Texas A&M Health Science Center Institute for Regenerative Medicine, describes a stem cell as a cell that is able to divide and create more cells indefinitely. He further states that stem cells are researched as it has been long thought that they hold the key to curing disease and regenerating organs. Stem cell research, while crucial to medical advancement, comes with strong opposition. The Eurostem Cell Organization describes the moral dilemma of stem cells as the duty to prevent or alleviate suffering, combined or conflicting with the duty to respect the value of human life. The Harvard Institute of Health actually also kind of describes this argument because there are many different religions and groups that believe that these embryos that embryonic cells are used for, or come from rather, are the way they are acquired just isn't right. Some religions believe that babies should be carried to term, and anything you can do should be done to keep these babies, or embryos rather, just to try to get them to turn to term and to be born. And there is also a way that doctors can fertilize eggs, such as in vitro fertilization, and create these embryos in labs so that way they can use them further. I'm just going to explain a little bit how this happens. So stem cells are acquired in two forms: adult stem cells and embryonic stem cells. Adult cells are acquired through bone marrow and can only be used for their specific purpose. So if you acquire a muscle stem cell, it can only be used to regenerate muscle damage or repair muscle damage. If you have a brain cell, the same exact way. A brain stem cell can only be used to repair brain damage. Embryonic stem cells, however, can be manipulated and can also adapt to be able to repair many different ailments. So let's say you have a cancer. An embryonic stem cell can be used and manipulated to regenerate the part of your body that was affected, because as in an embryo, those stem cells are ever changing and they are ever kind of regenerating and repairing themselves to grow what would eventually become a full-term baby. The main argument against this type of research, like I stated earlier, is that in order to acquire embryonic cells, you must terminate the embryo, meaning that to some people, and especially certain religions, they definitely oppose this termination of embryos, and they generally oppose the fertilization of eggs to create the necessary embryos to conduct research. While there are adequate cons and opposition to stem cell research, it is crucial for the advancement of medicine. There are safe methods of collecting these embryonic stem cells that can appease all parties, and while there is going to be opposition, there's opposition with everything. Every type of medical advancement there's ever been, there's been some type of group that has opposed it, and everything's been done for the betterment of the people in the world today and the future. And the possibilities of stem cells are endless. Incurable diseases that today are incurable may one day be curable, and millions of lives may be saved. So while yes, there is strong opposition to stem cell research, and there are groups that speak out against it and don't believe it is right, there are ways to make sure that embryonic stem cells, which are the most effective use of stem cells, they're much more effective and useful than adult stem cells, as they're able to be manipulated and all that kind of stuff. There definitely are ways to make sure that they are acquired the right way, and there's also ways to make sure that while they are acquired the right way, there's ways to appease all parties. There's different compromises that can be made, and just stuff like that to make sure that people aren't forced into abortions and that kind of stuff, just to make sure that these cells really do appease all religious views and that kind of stuff. Because like I said earlier, and I've stated a couple times throughout this speech, stem cells are crucial to medical advancement, and especially the use of embryonic stem cells will push the medical industry way further. It's revolutionary. It will really make incurable diseases curable, and there are many things today, like I stated earlier, diabetes, Parkinson's, some form of cancer, heart disease that can't be cured today. But with stem cells, it is very possible that someday in the future, with this research continued, that they may be curable.